everyone, and welcome to yet another video. Today I'm doing something rather interesting and maybe not super timely for the current climate in North America, but I just realized the other day as I was browsing through the interwebs, there's so many cool pant designs out there, but I feel like I never want to buy them because I'm always, afraid that I'm never going to have an occasion to wear them. But you know what I did just find out is that I have two pairs of jean shorts that look almost exactly the same. And of course there are minor differences. This is just a little bit darker, but from far away, no one can really tell that these are different. I mean, they're basically the same waist. These are from Old Navy. I think I got these from Walmart, Faded Glory. Yeah. They're, practically the same in every way in terms of length, size. They're just identical, and I can't imagine why I would have two identical pairs of shorts when I could have two different pairs of shorts that are far more exciting. So today I'm going to show you 3 simple ways to upgrade a pair of old shorts, thrifted shorts, anything, to make them just a little bit more interesting to look at. So let's get started. The first pair of shorts that I'm going to work on is this pair from Walmart. It's just a little bit loose around the hips, so I thought that this would be the right pair to kind of jazz up the most. So 2 of my hacks I'm going to perform on these jean shorts, and I'm going to perform the last little hack on a second pair. And that is going to include some lace, a little bit of paint, and of course my very favorite embroidery. So first things first, I'm going to go get my lace. Using the lace, there's a couple different things you can do. I think it adds a really feminine touch to really any plain old pair of jeans. So for this one, I am going to line the bottom, and this can either go on top or inside. So for me, I think what I'd like to do is line up the top of the lace with the hem of the pants so that they don't get really any longer. If you think you need a little extra length, of course, you could maybe attach it right down here, or you could even put them underneath to create a cool layered effect from the inside. And if you wanted to jazz it up just a little bit more, if you had a whole lot of lace, something else that might be really cool is to line the pockets like this to create an effect something like that, or again going on the inside to create an interesting layered look. And this is also a lot easier when it comes to hiding any of the curve that would come from the pockets. For most fabrics, you can't go wrong with a tacky glue or a fabric glue, something that bends. Or if you have a more structured pair of jeans that doesn't stretch so much like I do, you can try using these fabric glue sticks. These go into a regular hot glue gun, a miniature hot glue gun specifically, and it actually holds like a fabric glue does, but it dries as quickly as a hot glue does. So those are my recommendations for that. Alrighty, so I've just attached my lace to the back, and I have already attached it to the front in the pockets. Unfortunately, I just barely don't have enough lace. I have enough to make it around one leg, but not the other, so I will not be doing that, and instead, I think I'm going to do hack number 3 at the bottom hem, just so that I can get all 3 of them done, and then I guess I will just keep this pair as my plain pair, just in case, I suppose. You never know when a plain pair of jeans will be necessary, I suppose. But this way, my design will be completely filled out on this particular pair of jeans. So, hack number 2 is going to include some acrylic paint and some fabric medium, which you can easily mix with any acrylic paint to create fabric paint, or of course you could just get fabric paint. I saw this adorable pair of jean shorts online that had 2 faces looking at each other, one looking up and one looking down. I am afraid to do it on both sides, and as much as I would love for it to be even, I think I'm going to do that on this side of the pants, and if I like it, then maybe I will repeat. But I did want something a little bit abstract. I might even throw like a color as like an outline around it, or kind of like to go with it as a little bit of a highlight kind of vibe. I colored in with chalk first so that I would have it nice and ready, and I really just wanted to do like a white on white kind of vibe here. So I have my paint right here off to the side, super tiny brush, and I'm actually just going to go around where all this chalk is. I'm kind of going to dab it up just a little bit so it's not super noticeable. I'm literally just licking my finger and using that to dab up most of the chalk, and then I'm going to go in and complete my design. And I think, and this might just be me, this is the perfect time for a hyperlapse. And here we have the second part of our shorts done. And I think what I've decided I'm going to do, the very last thing is going to be embroidery, is I'm actually going to go around the edges here as well as along the bottom with my accent color, which as you can see I chose to be a yellow. And I'm going to take a bright yellow thread and I am going to do crisscrosses all across the bottom and across the pockets on the front. That way I can tie in a little bit of the yellow and it'll all look like a cohesive design in spite of the fact that I've already done some lining with this lace. So with all that said, it's getting kind of dark out and I'm afraid that I'm not going to have my filming light for much longer. So with that said, I'm going to bid you all good night and I will see you in the morning, which for you will be in about 4 seconds. See you then. And we're back, and I've made some changes. You might notice that my pockets are missing the lace. That's because I cut it out. I started kind of testing out some of my methods for putting in the embroidery pieces, and I thought it just looked really silly, the design that I had alongside the lace, so I ended up taking them out. Obviously you can still do this to any pair of pants that you want. I'm just not going to be putting them on mine. So instead I am going to show you how to add the embroidery detail along the pockets and the bottom of the pants, and I will give you the big reveal right after. So the first thing you're going to need is some embroidery floss. I obviously went with yellow because that is the accent color of my pants. You're also going to need an embroidery needle. Of course, I have mine threaded. Oh, I did have it threaded. And I have a knot in it already. You may notice, or you may not, depending on how familiar you are with embroidery, I only have 3 strands here. Basically what I do when I'm trying to save a little bit of thread, or if I don't want anything to be too bulky, I will actually separate my regular embroidery floss, which is normally 6 strands, in half. So I actually ended up doubling the amount of embroidery floss I had just by taking it down to 3 strands instead of the usual 6. And honestly, that's just as easy as, you know, picking your fingers in and separating them just like that. The pattern that we're going to be doing is a series of X's. So I like to start at the bottom corner, especially in the pockets, because that way I can hide the long tassel-y bit at the end there a little bit easier by stuffing it inside. And something that's really nice about doing this on pockets is a lot of times, obviously, you have these stitches here. If you don't feel like drawing in your X's to make sure they're relatively even, or I guess even enough, you can actually use the stitches to count. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to make my X's about 6 stitches long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right there, I'm going to go in between the 2 stitches and just slightly below. Push through the back and pull, and I've got the first start of my X. Now what I like to do is I like to go back straight to the starting point so that there is a straight line on the back there, and poke it back down through the bottom and pull it through, and there we have our first X. And by counting these stitches, we can make them relatively even all the way along. And once you have your last stitch in, I have a nice long tail here, which I've separated out. There's only 3 strands, so one of them has 2, the other one is just a single strand, and I'm gonna knot that a couple times before cutting off the extra bits, just so that it stays nice and tight, even if I'm wearing them, putting them in the wash, whatever the case may be. And I'll cut off my extras as close as I can, and there we go. And I actually have already done the other pocket and the bottom and the back pockets. I pretty much got it all done, and I think now it's time for the big reveal. Let's do this. And here they are, the final product, the final version of the pants that are completely embroidered around the bottom and the pocket holes and all that. Please excuse the booty shot I guess we had there. I think that this looks really good, especially with this yellow scarf on top. Or, you know, if I just wanted a little extra something, I could always, you know, pull it through the belt loop and kind of add a little bit of extra something like that. I think this turned out pretty freaking good. I think these are enough of a statement, but also subtle enough that I can get away with wearing them, and they're cute. I do like them. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe. I put out new videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and I would love for you to be there for the next one. Thanks again so much, and I hope to see you then. Bye!